Do you work? Because prep does. And if you are out here living your life, dating, traveling, and having fun, your protection should be working just as hard as you are.
I've built my entire career on protecting people and their futures. You don't want to wait until something goes wrong. You gotta plan ahead.
And that's why Q Care Plus makes so much sense. They connect you with real providers, they offer labs at home or in person, and they make getting care simple and respectful.
No confusion, no stress. That's a smart protection.
They meet you where you are and make healthcare feel easy instead of overwhelming.
And that peace of mind is everything when you're busy living your life.
Protect your future and protect your best asset, you, with Q Care Plus.
Woohoo!
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of My Friend, My Soulmate, My Podcast. It's your host, Christian Gray Snow, and you know what? It is Friday that I am recording this. We've made it through the week, but, if you're listening to this, I'm sure, you probably, too, have a very heavy heart. Following the news that Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's Mary Cosby, her son, Robert Cosby Jr., passed away at the terribly young age of 23, and truthfully, I came here to the studio the other day to, cover some topics, and it had just happened. I found out right before I got here, and none of that was really anything that could have been even put out and published, because it was just like a jumble of words, because my heart was so broken for Mary and for him, for her son Robert, that this is the outcome of a journey that, impacts so many people, and a journey that some shy away and aren't comfortable being transparent in that struggle, and they did that in a means of hopefully helping someone else. And to not only know that someone is battling addiction, but to know that the family, the mother, the father, are so determined to be there and to help them reach recovery, and to do so on a public scale, that's so incredibly brave to do. It's so incredibly brave to do, to know that there are going to be people who don't understand, and people who say mean things despite your intentions of hopefully resonating with someone. And so to make that brave step and decision, and it ultimately lead to the absolutely most heartbreaking, outcome, is just absolutely devastating. There really are no words for stuff like this. And, if you're someone that believes in the power of prayer, if you're, someone who feels that thoughts and energy and positive energy are, the most effective way to help someone in a time of need, I think we all can agree that we're a Bravo fan community of a lot of people. We disagree on a lot, but it's times like this that, we gotta link arms and send all the love and any realm or type of positivity to Mary and her family. Yeah, just, it's been, I'm sure you as well, it has not left my mind. It has not left my heart this week. And I'm just pray that Mary feels all the love and care that is clearly being sent her way from all corners of the world right now. Really do hope so. And like I said, there are folks and their families and the people around them that feel the strongest way of, combating addiction is transparency and conversation and talking with people. And then there are undoubtedly people who don't want to bring that to anyone and share that with anyone. And so, if that is you or someone that and like I said, there are people who make the incredibly brave decision to be forward facing with their struggles. There are people that, of course, are struggling in silence because it's a difficult thing to talk about. So I wanted to make sure we at least provide a resource here. Should that be someone watching this, someone listening to this who knows someone listening to this, I don't know. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration has a number that you can call and talk to someone, and maybe that would be of use. So I just wanted to make sure we provided a resource. Should there be even just one person out there who, is affected by what we're discussing here. And the number, 1-800-662-HELP. So that's 1-800-662-HELP, which is 4357. So 1-800-662-4357. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, there are resources there. There are always people who care. And again, just, it's a heartbreaking week in the Bravo world, and there is no amount of love and positive energy that would be too much for us to send to Mary right now. So let's make sure we do that. Okay. All right, y'all, going to make a little bit of a pivot. And like I said, it's been a really sad week in the Bravo world. It's always hard out here in the world in general. And that's why we turn to reality TV for escapism. So I have a little escapism talk for y'all today. All right, let's see what the people are talking about. And if you're like me and you grew up gay as fuck, or if you're like me and just, became someone who loved reality television in the early 2000s, you probably loved America's Next Top Model, okay? I know my gay ass did. They used to have those marathons on VH1 every Saturday. Don't bother me. From 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., I got two girls stand before me and one photo in my hands. That's what I was watching all damn day, okay? So, anyway, if you haven't been sleeping under a rock, you probably know that Netflix released an America's Next Top Model expose documentary where Tyra finally addresses this. We have Miss J, we have Mr. J, we have Nigel Barker, and I just feel like this is something that has been alluded to and said online for years. We need this, we need this, we need this. Well, now we finally got it, and apparently they're not done. I'm read that E is also doing one really soon. I think it's already shot and everything, so I think it's coming out soon. But even just some of the people that were on America's Next Top Model, Eva the Diva. Eva Marcille, baby, from Atlanta, Real Housewives of Atlanta. I loved Eva for years. She restarted this reality TV game long before any of these women even knew what was up, So, absolutely iconic. Adrienne Curry, I think she was the first winner, went on to marry and fuck up somebody from the Brady Bunch. If that's all I got from America's Next Top Model, I'd take it, Do y'all remember Janice Dickinson's modeling agency on Oxygen? That might have been the reason I even wanted to ever move to LA, was to go see the hot men that she would cast. Delightful. This show really was a pop culture roller coaster, rocket. It just, they had over 20 seasons or cycles, as they would call them, and they really just, got away with the absolute craziest shit, and these girls go on to talk about it, and and this is only a handful of the women, y'all, who have seemingly been traumatized or affected by, their decisions to join the show or getting cast on the show. And, I hate when people blame people. They're like, we all know what reality TV is. We all know what reality TV is. That doesn't mean that it should be that way. Hello? So we all know that people, producers and stuff, fuck people over. Okay. Then we all know that should stop. Right? Thank you. Like I said, I remember one story specifically from a contestant. I think her name was Caitlin, and she wasn't in the documentary, but and now there's even a viral trend going around online where people's like, oh, you tell Tyra Banks that your grandma choked to death on a Krispy Kreme donut, and now you have to do a photo shoot laying in, the glaze, getting glazed in the glaze machine at Krispy Kreme. You know what I'm saying? They would use these women's traumatic experiences against them in the most despicable of ways. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I remember, I think her name was Caitlin, like I said, and bless her heart, it was her childhood best friend or something died while she was shooting the show. And so she got the call in the house, the model house that they're in, and she basically obviously is devastated. And they go, I guess, the next day to their shoot or whatever, and these motherfuckers had, can you even lease out a cemetery? How did they even get a plot in a cemetery to do a shoot in? They had these girls being the 7 deadly sins, and they were posing in coffins under the ground. I don't even know if her friend was in a coffin under the ground yet. That's how soon it was. And when they say the body wasn't even cold, that's what they were talking about, was this situation. And I've always thought too, because everything in TV is such, there's so many logistics that go into it. Getting permits, even just every photo shoot, it would be different. The amount of people, the types of hair and makeup artists you might need. Do you need special effects? Do you need just overall glam? Even everything down to like equipment for photo shoots. Okay, so now they're putting people in a coffin. We're going to have to find some sort of fucking like crane or lowering system. So, saying all that to say, so many loopholes that these people have to go through to make one photo shoot happen that I imagine, like I said, it's planned months and months and months in advance. For them to spin that shit around in like one night's sleep is quite possibly the nastiest shit I've ever seen in my life. And we've seen some nasty shit. Like, to me, that specific incident, Tyra could apologize from the whole fucking flight from Australia to here and back, where she lives now, and I, one ear and out the motherfucking other. Okay? Sorry. Just saying. But yeah, apparently there are more stories coming our way through E. I should have got that premiere date for y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah, you know, like I said, we used to pray for times like these. To finally acknowledge what went on that show. And I will say, I do think I had a somewhat unique experience watching it. A little trauma-inducing for me. Because, you know, I worked in TV for years. I worked in daytime TV. And I had a boss who was like the epitome of the Hollywood, you know, asshole boss. But she was phenomenal at what she did. And she undoubtedly made me the producer that I am. The creative producer that I am. She absolutely influenced me, like got me in shape. But she's evil. Knowing all the things that she'd ever done to hurt me and others, I still held out hope. And anyway, saying all that to say, I held out hope for her and got royally screwed over by her in a way that I would never saw coming. And I don't know how I didn't see it coming, because she did it to everyone else around me too in that job. But sorry, saying all that to say, watching Tyra, you know, whisper and like kind of talk in her soft voice, like, that's what y'all guys wanted. That's what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted us to fuck these bitches up. Y'all wanted us to traumatize these bitches. Y'all wanted us to keep therapist pockets lined for the next 55 years. That's what she does. She is the most gaslighting person. And zero accountability, even when it comes to poor Shandy, who reveals all these years, we were made to believe that Shandy just got a little too drunk and cheated on her man because she was in Milan and wanted to have some fun. No, she was sexually assaulted. And they took the footage and chopped around it to make it look like that it was her decision. In what fucking world are statute of limitations ever exist? I want her to sue the fuck out of them now. What the fuck? And then Tyra had her talk show. Shandy went on there and said, please don't show the footage of it. What does Tyra do? Shows the footage. And speaking of Tyra's talk show, the whole reason I mentioned my boss, my old boss, and their whisper little voices, and their inability to take accountability, and their insane ability to gaslight absolutely anyone around them, because they're good at what they do, the reason I'm mentioning it, and the reason that watching this was a little bit trauma-inducing for me, is because my old boss was Tyra's executive producer on her talk show. Who influenced who? Or if it was just like that saying, it be two dumb bitches telling each other exactly. It be two evil women telling each other exactly. I don't know who influenced who first. I would get called 9, but there's zero doubt in my mind disappointment that because there was a comma Tyra and the woman who I used to work for absolutely operate from the same playbook. I couldn't even afford the therapy that I needed. Literally, okay, anyway, I've now seen it play out. Some in real life, some on TV. The connections are insane. So yeah. It ain't worth, grow in your career, especially if you're creative in the industry. Do what you got to do. But for the love of God, nothing is worth crying on a Sunday night over your Chinese food, having dinner in Hollywood because you forgot to put a comma in an Instagram caption. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about.
You know that saying, kids see everything, notice everything, and feel everything? Well, let me tell you what, it's true. And I remember this because when my Uncle David suddenly had a stroke over 20 years ago, I could feel the stress my mom and all of her siblings were carrying because they didn't know how they were going to get him the care that he needed. But one thing was certain, our family was going to come together to make sure that he did get the best care possible. We just didn't know where that care was going to come from. That question led to years of challenges until we found care.com, and it truly helped us make sense of absolutely everything. We were able to find background checked in-home caregivers, explore senior living options, and even connect with a senior care advisor, a master's level social worker who is provided to the family for 90 days of personalized guidance. I recently partnered with Care.com to try their senior care advisor service myself, and what immediately stood out to me was how they helped build a plan that actually made sense for my family. They considered my parents' needs, local providers, and they even considered insurance, things that can
Moving
all feel
on.
overwhelming when you're trying
I
to make
also
the
wanted
right
to tell y'all,
decision
hey,
for
and I
someone
mentioned
that
it
you love.
briefly
What
in the
I
last
appreciate
episode
the
with
most
Vicky.
is
I went
clarity.
up to
They
New
gave us
Jersey
all the
to
clarity
see
that we
Meredith
needed during a
Marks.
time that
And,
otherwise
you
felt
know, she
incredibly
has been,
uncertain.
you know, going
Instead
all
of
around the
guessing like
country
what to
on
do
her
next,
DJ tour.
we had real guidance
And
and we
look,
had real support.
I don't know what's
That
going on
kind
in
of
the world
direction
with
can
housewives
make
and
all
DJs.
the
Like, they must be
difference
making
in
some
the world
fucking
when
money, because
someone
it's
you
like
love
we got
needs care.
Erica,
So if you are
we've got
facing senior care
Meredith,
decisions,
we've
I
got
truly
who else?
recommend
Dorinda.
Care.com. For a
You
limited
know,
time,
like,
you can go to
they're all
Care.com
doing
and
it.
use
So
code MyFriend for 20% off
look,
your
I
initial
admit, like,
subscription
there were times
or
at
a
this show,
senior
like,
care
I was
advisor
straight
plan.
just like laughing,
That's My
straight
Friend,
giggling. I was like,
all
what
one
are we
word.
doing?
With Care.com,
What is my
start
life?
your
Like,
senior care journey.
I'm in a New
with
Jersey
confidence.
beach
When it's
town
not you,
in the middle of
it's
fucking
Care.com.
February. It's so cold. I'm actually, me and my friends and the people at this concert are actually the only ones in the whole town. Because why would you be at a New Jersey beach town in the middle of dead winter when a blizzard's on the way? More on that later. Just like, what are we doing? How is this happening? You know? And it was very random. Like, my friend and I just, you know, decided to go. He's my old neighbor from West Hollywood. He's one of my best friends. Love you, Maddie. But yeah, it was the most fun, y'all. It was the most fun. There were probably 600 people there, 700 people. Could not believe the turnout. Like I said, we were the only ones in town. The population was 702 that night, us and then Seth and Meredith. But just, and I wanted to, because I was like, I want to be able to explain to everyone on the pod, like, why it was good, you know, why it was good. So I was a part of a group of 5, like I said, and I asked everyone in the group, like, what was your number one reason why you liked it so much? And because when we left, we were all like, why was that so much fun? Like, it was just, it wasn't that we expected it to be bad. We just didn't, like, I wanted to go again. Like, if I could have gone the next night to Toronto, I would have. Like, that's what it was like. Do we follow the tour bus? Are we groupies? Like, I might start the DJ Meredith Marks fan club, you know? But so when I asked everyone what they're most impressed by, or what the first, you know, their biggest takeaway was, mine was the audience. I kept saying out loud, I felt like I couldn't stop saying it, I can't believe how many people are here. I can't believe how many people are here. It was absolutely packed. Everyone else, Matt said that he was mostly impressed by the production quality, because it was very intentional, very produced, and very thought. And when I say very produced, it means like it was, every second was thought through. You know, there was not a down, like, awkward second one. Like, it was just flow all the way through. No technical difficulties. They had really cool visuals, like, just fun stuff. Like, she even brought out, so I'll bring up this next one. Another friend, she was Vicky's talent handler at BravoCon. Okay. She worked at NBC for years, and this was her final BravoCon last year, and she got assigned to work with Vicky, and she said it was the most poetic thing ever, because it's like her final BravoCon. She gets to be with the one who started Bravo, kind of, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's the only time I've ever fallen in love with a woman. I fell in love. Her name is Dana. Dana, my queen, because I know she's listening. Anyway, we fell in love. She was we've talked about her on the pod, about how absolutely wonderful she was. Anyway, she's a Jersey girl. And so when I got up there, I was like, have I even told Dana that I'm, like, up here? Because it was just so kind of last minute and chaotic that it happened. And so I'm, like, at a train station where, you know, we get off to Uber to the Airbnb, and I sent her a picture. It was like Long Branch or something, and she was like, what the fuck, you're 20 minutes away from me. I said, bitch, if you don't get a ticket right now, we're engaging tonight. I thought you lived on the other side of the state. So, like, because who knows New Jersey geography? Patterson and Franklin Lakes and Newark Airport, that's what's there. So, and then Tom's River, but we ain't talking about that. So she came, and she said that her favorite thing, I believe, was just, like, she said the music, but also just the tie-ins. Like, they brought out a piñata that was a unicorn. Like, if Meredith didn't get to beat Britney up enough on that plane, she said, every single city I'm bringing out a unicorn to just destroy it. I don't know if we should be concerned or impressed with the level of disdain, you know? Yeah, so that was her favorite part. And then Matt's boyfriend and best friend, who I got to meet for the first time, they both came, and one of them said that they were really impressed just by the overall, like, production quality, as well as, like, the music, the actual song selections, because the remixes and the mashups and the transitions, like, it was all just fire. The whole time I was there, I was like, I wish this set list was like an album. Like, I would listen all the way through, and, like, I almost got emotional at the end, because the final song was it was a remix of, like, Slut Pop and My Heart Will Go On. art. Art. If Meredith Marks does not have 2 Grammys in hand by next year, it better be because the music industry is dead. Okay, that's all I got to say. Truly so much fun. Again, the highlight, honestly, for me was getting to see Dana, and getting to see, obviously, Matt, my bestie. I was so excited to see him, but the unexpectedness of getting to see Dana. And I wish y'all, this is how I know Matt is like one of my soulmates, because we were so excited to see each other. We hadn't seen each other in probably like a year. And yeah, the last time I saw him was in Mexico in last January, I think. And Saturday was the night after the show, and his boyfriend left, and his best friend left. Dana went back home, so it was just he and I in this Airbnb. When I tell you, we rotted like, I don't even fucking know. Rot. He was on one side of the house, I was on the other. About every 30, 45 minutes, we'd check in, share a little laugh, a little update, a Housewives tweet or something that we saw. Oh my God, you see this? Ha ha ha. I'd hear him watching, Lat Week's Beverly Hills in there. I'm catching up on Traders on my end. We're talking about that. It could have been anybody in that room that had a voice similar to Matt, and I would have never known. We were 10, 15 feet from each other on this tiny little apartment Airbnb, in our own worlds, rotting. We each door dashed, not at the same time, not at the same restaurant. We fully independently rotted all day long. Did not leave the house once, but also we were together. Like, I felt like I got so much time with Matt, even though if you'd like ask me what was he wearing or something that day, I wouldn't have no fucking idea to tell you. Didn't see him once. And that's how you know that's a good friend. Because we can literally do nothing. You do your DoorDash, I do mine. So, oh my gosh. Well, yeah. So if you get to go see Meredith Marks, the tour is wrapped, I think, for now. But yeah, please do. I'm sure she'll announce more dates this year. I mean, Pride will be coming up in a few months. I know she'll probably be doing a lot of shows around that. So please go see her. It truly is so much fun. Hopefully you don't have the travel nightmares that I did. I woke up, y'all, 10 minutes before my flight was supposed to board. Slept through every single alarm I had because I could not sleep the night before. Was not going to be able to make my flight. And I had already texted Matt, was like, please don't be mad at me. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Like, I'll pay you for the Airbnb, of course. Like, just please, I'm so sorry. And I happened to refresh the app one more time, and it, out of nowhere, it said the flight was delayed 30 minutes, like right when they were supposed to be boarding. And when I tell you, I grabbed my shit so fast. Y'all ever seen that meme of the person, it's a girl like in the bathroom where she's like slamming all of her stuff into her bag, like packing quick? That was me. I got to New Jersey the weekend of a motherfucking blizzard and didn't have a single jacket on. Not even a little bomber jacket. Not even a little shawl. A cardigan. Nothing. I had a family van motherfucking hoodie that I did not plan to, but accidentally threw on in a state of panic on the flight up. So it was dirty when I got there. What else did I have? T-shirts. I packed T-shirts. It was on my first time in my life, I only was allowed to take a backpack. Couldn't have made it a more traumatic situation. I could only fit a few things in there, and everything I did fit was wrong. I wore Matt's clothes to the concert. I might as well not even pack anything. I didn't even need to pack anything at that point. And then to get this, the flight coming back, canceled. I had to drive from Newark, New Jersey, 3 hours to Baltimore, Maryland, to catch the last flight out that night back to Charlotte before the blizzard hit up there. Okay? And despite all that, I would do it 10 times over just to hear the Slut Pop, My Heart Will Go On remix, shoulder to shoulder, in a cold-ass beach town with 700 people, 702, counting Meredith and Seth, and my queen Dana, and my bestie Matt, a night before rotting all day long with him. I would do it all over again. All of that, to have those moments with them again, to be in the room with all those Bravo people, to see Meredith up there truthfully feeling grateful and having fun, it was worth it. So, yeah, hopefully you're all able to go see her, or just find something else similar that brings you some joy this weekend. Like I said, I know we hit on some really, really tough topics and news earlier in the episode at the top of the show. And I know some people say prayers and stuff aren't enough, but it's like at times like this, it has to be. We can't not trust that and believe that intent and care is not resonating and felt somewhere. I really believe it is. So again, Mary, we love you. The Bravo community loves you. We all have our arms wrapped around you from here going on. And everybody tell somebody that you love them. Call your friends and tell them you love them. And we'll see you right back here next week on My Friend, My Soulmate, My podcast. Besos.